Well, good Saturday morning to you, everyone. Meteorologist Michael Wilhite here with Southern Indiana weather. It is Saturday morning, July the 12th, 2014, and it is 10:45 a.m. Eastern Time. Today's video update is sponsored by Metal Magic in Washington. Folks, we have a chance of severe weather over the next couple of days, so write this number down, 698-8555. They do a great job. That traveling hail team, folks, they have paintless dent repair for all of your hail dings that come about, and they're PDR Nation certified. So write that number down and tell them Southern Indiana Weather sent you. Give Chad a call. All right, taking a look at Sky Tracker HD powered by the cellular connection there in Washington, Indiana. You can see a big blob of rain moving our way at this time, but nothing severe about this, just some heavy rain and lightning. Let's sort of zoom in across the area here as we go down towards the Ohio River. Not a whole lot of action going on towards you. Here it comes. It's now here moving in across the Ohio River and the Wabash River, and well, it's not overly impressive. You have some heavy rain and a little bit of lightning, but again, as I said, nothing too big with this. And as we sort of back out with this, you don't see anything behind it. So it's mostly cloudy with some scattered rain this morning, but then it looks like the chances will become more isolated during the afternoon hours. Now that will change tomorrow. Tomorrow we have got a big time, the beginning of a big time change in our pattern. Let's take a look at our categorical risks really quickly. Here's for Saturday. I just want you to see that we are not in the slight risk. It is well to our north here. Nothing to worry about. Just some general thunderstorms down here in the southern Indiana weather area today. Nothing too big. Now tomorrow, as we move into Sunday, that risk moves over us. There's a slight risk of pretty much all over the state. Now, as you can see, categorically, here's the 15%. Here's the percentile. So categorically, it is a slight risk, but it is a low-end slight risk. It is a 15% risk. So, and just to clear up any confusion on what that means, by the way, when we say a 15% slight risk, because I've had some questions about that come up. Well, my town, you say we're under a slight risk for severe weather, but my town never seems to get it. Well, it is impossible statistically to predict whether or not your town with any degree of certainty will get severe weather. That's why we issue severe weather regions. I don't issue these. The Storm Prediction Center here in Norman, Oklahoma takes care of that. It's a part of the National Weather Service. 15% risk basically means anywhere with it, pick a dot on the map, anywhere in this, and there is a 15% chance that 25 miles in that dot that you put on the map, there will be a severe thunderstorm. That's all it means. So 15% is a fairly low risk. That's why it's a low end slight risk. Then it goes to a 30% for the upper end slight risk. Moderate goes to 45%. High risk goes to 60%, and so on. So again, if you see these slight risks issued and say, well, I just never seem to get anything, doesn't mean the forecast was invalid if you didn't get anything, especially if something else in the risk area did, because we can't pinpoint it down to exact cities. The science just is not that exact yet. I wish it were possible to do that, but it's not. Okay. Regardless, 15%, a very low end slight risk for Sunday. Then on Monday, that slight risk slips here to the south. You'll remember that they had this in a 30% upper end slight risk yesterday. Made some posts on my Facebook page last night and let you guys know that I thought that was kind of bogus. We don't need to be in 30% risk, and they have actually downgraded it now to a low end slight risk down to 15%. So apparently the Storm Prediction Center has also agreed with me that it really just does not need to be in an upper end slight risk. Bottom line is it is not a huge threat to us. Let me time it out on future radar just briefly and talk about what we're going to do. Here we go through Saturday. Here's that rain that's moving into our area. You notice that quickly disintegrates and moves over us. Pretty much dry this afternoon with maybe an isolated storm or two, but really I'm only giving it a 20% chance this afternoon, 50% earlier today, but then going down to about 20% during the afternoon hours. Here's the severe thunderstorms moving in during the late night hours and then into the early morning hours. It sort of starts to break up here over northern Indiana. And then watch this, it sort of disintegrates. By Sunday afternoon, though, we're still staying largely high and dry. Watch this. So here's by 2 p.m. you start to see the hint of some thunderstorms pop up. By 5 p.m. they're starting to pop up down here. And then, of course, by 8 p.m. they're starting to organize into maybe a quasi-linear line. So it's questionable as to whether we'll even see this organize into a line. The high-res NAM yesterday said no. Now it's saying sort of maybe. The models just don't have a good handle on the system. The bottom line is there's plenty of instability tomorrow, but there's very weak wind energy down here. There's good wind energy up here in northern Indiana, but where the risk actually is going to be at because of the front sagging south, we just sort of have low wind energy down here. So we'll see whether anything can hold together and form with that. If it forms, up here and starts to push our way and can self-sustain itself by developing a good cold pool in front of it, then maybe it can. But without the stronger wind energy, it's just going to have a hard time organizing into that. So we'll see what tomorrow holds. I'm not overly excited about this, but we'll make you aware of it. Just keep an eye to the sky. Regardless, damaging winds and hail are the main threats. I don't think we're looking at tornadoes tomorrow from the way everything looks at this point. Then we start to get just some general rain overnight, and then by Monday, before this ends, this model goes out to about Monday at 2 p.m. Nothing's still developing here. We've got a second and very powerful cold front that's going to move through on Monday afternoon and evening hours, and that might bring a secondary line, but again, that's iffy as to whether it will or not. So not a strong risk of severe weather with this, as we were thinking that it once might be, and that's a good thing. We don't need the severe weather. If you're a storm lover like me and you like to see a good thunderstorm, then it's kind of a bummer. But in truth, we don't need no damage to properties. So it looks like it's just going to be some rain at this point, with a few thunderstorms, but probably a few severe thunderstorms, I should say. Probably not an outbreak. Bigger story is going to be temperatures. Let's take a look at your data here. Notice that behind this cold front, after it moves through on Monday, temperatures just fall compared to where they should be. We should be 88 for our normal high temperature here on July the 12th. So we're talking 75 according to the GFS ensembles. Actually, I think this is a little too warm. I don't think they're seeing the cool down enough in this. I think they may be a little bit overshooting it. If you go to southernindianaweather.com, you can also pull it up on our mobile app and get your 7-day forecast. You'll see that. Here's the warm temperatures today and tomorrow. Excuse me, folks. Apologies, I had to cough. I didn't think you'd really want that in your ears there. I've given it a 50% chance of rain, but again, it's going to become more isolated in the afternoon hours, so down to about 20% for the afternoon hours. Warm and muggy today. Warm and muggy tomorrow. Strong to severe thunderstorm possible. Again, strong to severe thunderstorms possible. Sort of warm and muggy again on Monday, but then it's nice. I'm actually going with 73 for your high on Tuesday. I think the temperatures are going to be a little bit cooler than what the models are seeing. Don't think they're handling this sort of polar blast coming down into our area as nicely. You notice the ensembles are saying 75, 79, even up to 82. No, I'm forecasting 73, 75, and 77. I think the models have got it a little bit wrong, so I've adjusted my temperatures down just a little bit. Now, if the models, we'll see what they do in the coming days as to whether this holds or not. But my thinking right now is this actually is a pretty powerful polar blast coming in that's going to sharply cool us down. And I don't think the models are seeing just exactly how cold this is going to get. I think they're going to play catch up. Regardless, even if we're below 80 into the 70s, no matter where we are, that's pleasant weather and it's going to be nice. So enjoy that, folks. Even look through next Friday. We're not even getting up until just the low 80s. It's going to be way below normal here after this very powerful front moves through. So it's enjoyable, and that's what we can say about it. So bottom line, we got some thunderstorms to deal with tomorrow in a more isolated fashion, early, then scattered in the afternoon, possibly with a line moving through. Will any of that be severe? Time will tell. I don't expect it's going to be a wild outbreak of epic proportions. Just a few severe thunderstorm warnings if we get anything. Same way on Monday. Sort of your run-of-the-mill severe weather. Nothing overly too concerning to us. I don't look at this to be a tornado outbreak. But at the same time, winds can do some strong damage. So be aware of that. Keep an eye on the sky, and I'll be here to update you more. That's it for this video, folks. I'm meteorologist Michael Wilhite with Southern Indiana Weather. Have a great Saturday, folks, and we'll see you next time.